Good afternoon, OR Today. Thank you all for participating in today's webinar. A few notes before we begin. Earlier today, a webinar workbook was emailed to pre-registered attendees. If you did not receive a copy, you can download one by visiting ortoday.com/webinars and selecting today's event. The workbook will serve as a guide for today's presentation. During today's webinar, all lines will be muted, but you are encouraged to submit questions anytime during the presentation by using the questions feature or chat feature on the dashboard on the right-hand side of the screen. If you're having difficulty, please email us at webinar@mdpublishing.com. OR Today is excited to present a special presentation for our webinar series. Today's webinar features John Krieg, President of MD Publishing, who will discuss the 5 ways attending OR Today Live conference can empower you in your profession. His presentation will highlight the value in attending this premier perioperative management conference, as well as provide the tools you need to seek administrative approval for attendance. John will be joined by Jim Stabinsky, the Director of Credentialing and Education at the Competency and Credentialing Institute. Jim will discuss the Surgical Services Management Certificate of Mastery workshop offered at the OR Today Live conference. So let's begin the presentation. John, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We're very excited about the presentation and our new OR Today Live Surgical Conference. What we're going to be talking about are 5 ways this conference can help empower you in your career in the perioperative community. This new conference will be held coming up in late August, the 30th to September 1st at the beautiful Red Rock Resort and Spa in Las Vegas. So a quick history about what we do here at MD Publishing, the show organizer. It was founded by myself almost 20 years ago. We have 3 monthly healthcare publications. One is for the Clinical Engineering Society. One is going to be for the third-party medical equipment and parts industry. And then, of course, we have OR Today magazine for the OR surgical suite industry. We also have some creative design, print, digital, web design, maintenance, and hosting for our company as well. So before we begin, I wanted to kind of give you a little inspirational quote. If you want something that you've never had, you have to do something you've never done before. And along those lines, this is our newest venture into the OR conference market to complement the OR Today magazine. We feel strongly to invest in this exciting industry. It's filled with dynamic and phenomenal perioperative leaders. And just as you may not have attended an OR conference recently, or you want to try something fresh and unique, we are both trying something new and cutting edge that has never been done before. So our journey as far as conferences go, we started over 10 years ago with our first one, and our focus has always been on the people. And our company started with the MD Expo, helping the clinical engineer industry come together. In our first year, we had 25 exhibits and about 100 attendees. And over the last decade, that's grown to 2 annual conferences now a year. And each show has over 100 exhibits and 500 attendees. And all that while maintaining a relaxed and comfortable experience for the attendees. And this proven model helped launch the Imaging Expo, which is now in its 2nd year, and that's for the imaging service segment. So it was just a natural fit to embark on a new conference for the perioperative community, showcasing our successful model for OR Today Live. And our goal is to help foster solutions for the challenges, regulations, and cultural changes that face a surgical suite and the professionals who are called upon to manage those decisions and patient care within the OR. One of the most important ingredients in our conferences is selecting the perfect venue to host the conference. The Red Rock Resort fits that bill perfectly. It's an easy 20-minute cab ride from McCarran Airport. It sits off the strip, kind of avoids the crazy hustle and bustle, but it still offers a 5-star property, very good rate, and complete with everything one would expect from Las Vegas. We've used the Red Rock Resort for our other conferences and can't wait to return to this incredible host location. So what is the OR Today Live conference philosophy? Our mission statement is really simple. We want to provide the greatest personal and professional development to help you further your career and achieve your goals. We will provide several aha moments, if you will, and we want to leave you excited during the event to see what's next around the corner. Again, we have a warm and inviting conference atmosphere. It helps support the OR Today readers that have shown us such gratitude, so we want to return that favor to them. Warm, hospitable, we roll the red carpet for you. So you might be asking yourself, what makes attending industry conferences so important? Well, in a nutshell, it's an investment in yourself. We've kind of pinpointed 4 quick reasons why attending conferences in general is so important. Renew your excitement about the work you do. Too much time behind a desk or in front of your computer can cause you to feel a little stale and stodgy. And while there's a world of information available to you online, getting out and hearing from people, your colleagues who are doing what you do but differently, it can really reignite your enthusiasm. The second reason attending conferences is so important is meeting colleagues face-to-face. We all have the ability to make strong and professional connections using digital technology today, but there's something really powerful and really no substitute for meeting face-to-face. Number 3, learn industry trends, how they're implemented. Professional conferences specialize in finding compelling subject matter and top-notch speakers for their sessions. Attending events and learning about the latest trends and how they're being used in our industry augments your knowledge base and gives you something valuable to bring back and possibly apply to your own work. So we're going to get started now. The number 1 way that we think OR Today Live is really going to help you with your professional development is basically our most important reason, we feel the best one, which is our partnership with the CCI, the Competency and Credentialing Institute. We're very proud and honored to be part of such a prestigious organization as the CCI. Without further ado, I'm going to let Jim talk a little bit more about our partnership and what they're going to be bringing to the table for the OR Today Live conference.
All right. Thanks, John. This is Jim Stabinsky. I'm with the Competency and Credentialing Institute, and we do a number of certifications, but we also offer education. And as John was talking, this is a very natural fit between OR Today Live and CCI. And so the Certificate of Mastery that we're going to offer in Surgical Services Management, here's a little background information about that. These materials have been in place for a period of years. We first started this in 2008, and we are now on the 3rd revision of the materials. This is essentially a textbook, a collection of materials that will help those who manage and lead in the operating room. This will help you to, it gives you the tools and very up-to-date information about how to do your job in leading in the operating room. There's a difference in our materials. There's no shortage of materials that you can obtain about how do you manage an operating room, latest trends, what are the issues in the operating room. For us, there's a key difference. Ours is based on a job analysis. So a nationwide survey of people that manage operating rooms, mainly nurses, and we asked them what they did in their job in a scientifically rigorous process. We arrived at the tasks that they do and the knowledge they need to do those tasks. And that is the basis for all of our materials. These materials have been in place since 2008. Over 1,500 people have taken these materials. We partnered with a number of organizations, a number of locations where we've given these materials, and it's also been used as a basis for institutional programs across the country. And typically a healthcare system or a large facility, we will go to the facility and teach these materials to them. So that's the Certificate of Mastery. And so the CE earning potential, when John talked to you and said, this is an investment in yourself, in your professional development, we think that the Certificate of Mastery in partnership with OR Today Live is a considerable value. So if you attend this workshop, you have 6.5 hours of on-site instruction with our instructors who teach for us quite often. There'll be 4 of us there teaching, and you will also receive written materials. When you complete the written materials, complete your testing, you will earn a total of 26 contact hours. And so you must attend the entire day to earn those 6.5 CEs for the actual seat time. And there'll be sign-in sheets, so you'll attend the in-person session. You'll also do work both before and after, and the total will be 26 CEs that you will earn for attending and all the work that you do once you complete your exam. So the major subject matter areas, these are just the main topic headings in the 3rd edition. So if you had taken this material before, we have expanded it. And now the written materials cover nearly 400 pages. So these are the 7 main modules, and the materials that you'll receive a soft cover for each of these modules. And as you can tell, these topics are things you do every day when you manage an operating room. And in the 3rd edition, there's been some changes, because when we did that job analysis and we listened to people, they told us exactly what they were doing, and so we had to update the materials because things change so fast in the operating room. So we have new and expanded material on operational management, and we've also added a section on strategic management. But the topics that have been with us since we began this program, you'll see those others listed, and I've also put notes there by the new material. So people have asked us, it's come up, so you're talking about Surgical Services Management Certificate of Mastery. We also hear that there's a CSSM certification. It sounds very similar. What is the difference? So the link to the certification, we also offer certifications. Our newest certification is the CSSM certification, and the first group that is taking that exam is testing right now in the month of July. In January, we will begin testing again. In order to be eligible to sit for the CSSM certification, you must have management-related CE or academic coursework in the 2 years prior to the period in which you sign up. So this Certificate of Mastery offered at OR Today Live and those 26 CE, that will take you nearly all of the way there. If you hold CNOR, you need 30 CEs of management-related content. You would earn 26 just by attending this workshop and completing all the activities. If you stay on for OR Today Live, you would easily then pick up the balance of the 30. If you are not a CNOR, you need 50 CEs in the 2 years prior. So the combination of this coursework plus attendance at OR Today Live would nearly get you to the 50 that you need in order to sit for the exam. This course will also familiarize you with the content on the CSSM exam and will also provide you study materials, because this gives you extensive written materials which you can use to help put together your study plan for that CSSM certification. So these are the steps to earn your Certificate of Mastery in Surgical Services Management, and to complete these steps you will then have your 26 CEs and a Certificate of Mastery, a Certificate of Training, and that you can place on your resume under other educational achievements, because this is far more rigorous than just attending a CE course. So the basic timeline: before the conference, once you sign up, you will receive written materials. They will be mailed to you, the 7 modules, soft covers, and they encompass about 400 pages of written material. You will also receive a link to a pre-assessment, a computer-based test that will test your knowledge of surgical services management topics, which we will be covering in OR Today Live. When you complete that assessment, you'll receive a report of your knowledge levels, and that will help guide your focus as you get ready for OR Today Live, and perhaps the topics that you'll choose to attend at OR Today Live. You will then have your written materials. You'll need to bring those with you to Las Vegas, and it would be helpful if you can read the written materials before you attend. We realize that may be a difficult task, but if you can, that would be ideal to read through and familiarize with all that material before you attend. At the conference, you'll attend a workshop, 6.5 hours of instruction, and then at the completion of that, in the completion of your reading, there will be additional tests. There will be some time during OR Today Live in the 6.5 hours of instruction to take some of the post-tests on the subjects that we cover. You will have access to the post-test when you arrive in Las Vegas. Again, computer-based test and very similar to your pre-assessment. When you complete your 6.5 hours of instruction, then at any time you wish in the remainder of this year, you have several months to complete your coursework. So building upon what you took in your person-to-person instruction, your face-to-face instruction, complete the remaining modules, and then take the remaining post-test. You must complete, there's 105 questions covering all 7 domains, or all 7 major subject matter areas, 15 questions for each domain. You must cover each domain, but you need to only get a 70% on the entire test. So you don't have to pass each domain. You must get a 70% overall. When you complete that, you'll receive a certificate of mastery in 26 CEs. Before you attend, you're going to receive your course materials. We'll mail them to you, and you will receive 7 modules, and they are soft covers, and remember, you'll need to bring those with you. Familiarize yourself with those materials prior to attending, and complete that pre-assessment, which will aid your learning. That pre-assessment, it's computer-based testing. You'll receive an email link, 105 multiple choice questions. They are set up in the same style as the CSSM exam, so it's also good practice for your certification exam. You will get an assessment of your knowledge levels, but you don't need to score a certain level in order to complete the pre-assessment. So not to worry, take the test, gauge your knowledge, get your report, but you don't need to worry about passing the pre-assessment, and this will prepare you well for your learning experience at OR Today Live. This is the schedule, the day of the program. So we will cover 3 of the 7 topics: human resources management, operational management, a considerable amount of content in financial management, which is the course that people most request. And included in operational management, we have a guest lecturer, Dr. Hudson Garrett, and he will talk 1 hour on infection control in the operating room, and that will falls within the operational management domain, so that'll be covered between 9:45 and 11:45. But as you can tell, a very full day, 6.5 hours of instruction, and also time to test during the day. And often people follow along in the test as they attend, and there will be time to test, but quite possibly you won't be able to complete it all while you're in attendance, and you can just finish up after sometime after our face-to-face instruction ends. There is an online test. That one you do need a 70% in order to pass and achieve your certificate of mastery. That's one thing that distinguishes certificate of mastery from a regular CE course. And there are 15 questions per module. And remember, you will not receive your 26 CE until you complete both the in-person attendance and also your post-test. Just a quick word about Certificate of Mastery versus certification. A Certificate of Mastery in Surgical Services Management does not allow you to put initials after your name. So CNOR, CRNFA, those are certifications and have certain rights and privileges. And for those, you would put after your name RN, BSN, CNOR, something like that. You cannot do that with a Certificate of Mastery. You can list it on your CV or your resume as a training course completed, but it is not a certification. If you do wish to take the certification, that's called CSSM, and this course will be very helpful in preparation for the certification exam, but you will not earn this certification by attending the Certificate of Mastery course. Your instructors will be glad to talk to you about that certification, and CCI will also have a booth at OR Today Live, and we'll be glad to talk to you about the certification in conjunction with our attendance there. So that completes my material. If you have any questions, we'll take them. And just remember, this is a very collegial learning environment. You'll get a lot of face-to-face time, a very nice collegial learning environment with these 4 instructors. And these are all very experienced instructors. All of them present nationally and internationally, decades of experience, and those are the people that will be leading your classes, and that's also your opportunity to ask them questions. So that completes my presentation. I think at this time, John, unless we have any questions that need to be answered right now, I'll turn it back over to you.
Hi, Jim. We did have a few questions come through, and I want to encourage any attendees on the line. Feel free to use your chat feature or questions to submit them now, or we can address them at the end of the presentation. But for now, since we're just off of the topic, one of the questions that came through, an attendee wanted to know if they need to bring their laptop to the Certificate of Mastery program.
I think bringing your laptop, I think you will find will be very helpful. And we are going to use some very innovative teaching strategies. And these will be very interactive courses. Financial management and operational management will be very interactive. So if you do have your laptop, that will be very helpful. It will certainly facilitate your testing. So should you choose to take advantage of the time to test, much easier done on a laptop. It can be done on a number of devices, and people have actually done it on their smartphone, but your laptop would be very helpful in that respect. So an absolute requirement, no, but I think it'd be very helpful.
Great. Well, that leads into the second question, which is how many tests will have to be taken to obtain the Certificate of Mastery?
So it is actually, it's rolled up into one test. So the post-test is 105 questions, and there's 15 questions per section or per major subject matter area. The total number of questions, one large test, is 105 questions. And it's broken into segments of 15 per each domain, an equal number of questions. But the total number of questions is 105. You must score 70. It is an open book test, and you will have your materials with you so you can take notes as you go through the class that may help you to answer the questions. And remember, you will also have access to the post-test when you arrive in Las Vegas, so you can draw it up on your computer as the presenters are talking and work through the questions. And the presenters are all aware of the questions. They may have written the questions, but they all have the questions. They're aware of them before they begin their presentation.
Okay, so I guess that leads to the next question. Somebody asked if the test is timed.
The test is not timed, and it is open book. And it is done on a survey program that we pay for the service, and so it is not timed. And it's very user friendly. It's one of the more widely used ones, and it's often used for this sort of testing. Very friendly, easy to use, very straightforward program, but it's not timed. The other thing is this is adult learning. It is an open book. That facilitates your learning. And then, should you be unsuccessful, you'll receive the very same test again, and you need only work through that and finish. If you need it, you'll receive the same copy of the test again to work toward that 70% that you need. It is very, very rare that with this type of testing that people need more than two chances or 2 looks at the exam to pass.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Okay, I think that wraps up the questions we had specifically for your portion of the presentation. But I do want to remind attendees, if you think of questions, feel free to ask them. We will have a question and answer section at a few moments for questions and answers at the end of the presentation. For now, we're going to go ahead and hand it over to John to pick up where he left off.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you, Jim. Fantastic explanation on what CCI is bringing to the OR Today live show. As Jim mentioned, here are the CCI speakers. They've been referred to as the all-star team. They're some of the leading dynamic speakers in the industry. I believe there's over 100 years of experience combined, and just some of the greatest people to bounce ideas off of, speak to. As Jim mentioned, they'll be in the booth. So you can be very informal, where you can just go up and really pick their brains on what you can do to help your career and all the different certifications, questions you might have. So thank you again, Jim. Okay, so moving on, the number 2 way that we think the OR Today Live is going to help you empower your career is going to be the continuing education. In addition to all that CCI is offering, they'll also have their own speakers providing additional classes during the show. But then we have a plethora of other world-renowned speakers at the show. We divided all of our classes into 3 key tracks: OR management, human resources, infection control. That's going to be totaling over 26 educational sessions. That's not including a very great, important keynote address from the Joint Commission. And then we wanted to also remind everyone that OR Today Live is an officially approved continuing education provider by the State of California Board of Registered Nursing. So I'm going to quickly zip over to our website to give you just an overview. As you can see from our ORTodayLive.com website, we've got all the classes here for the continuing education. There's different links and buttons where you can go view all or view by the day. You can view by the track: human resources, infection control, again, OR management. But as you can see from the speakers and the topics, it's going to be, you'll be hard-pressed to find a variety and importance of some of the hot topics in the industry right now from some of the leading speakers out there. We have an educational committee that helped us kind of comprise this list of all the different speakers and what's out there important in your department or your facility, and it's just a fantastic educational overview for the show. And again, that's at ORTodayLive.com. Click on education and go to classes. You can also go over to the attendees, click on the pre-show planner, and that's going to give you the brochure for the pre-conference. Okay, so that was the number 2 way. And number 3, networking opportunities. As you could probably tell by now, our conferences are a little bit different than some of the larger, maybe association conferences. They certainly have their place in the industry. We don't fault them for that, but we have heard over and over again that it's kind of exhausting. It's tiring. You're scattered. You're going morning, noon, and night, and they wanted something that might be a little bit more relaxed, comfortable, if you will. So one of the ways we do that at OR Today Live is going to be with our networking opportunities. We have many opportunities, whether you're having a coffee break in between your educational session, whether you're having lunch in the exhibit hall. But the three biggest networking opportunities we have is going to be the welcome reception at the OR Today Live show at the Red Rock. It's going to be at the Cherry Lounge. It's a fantastic venue where it's a lounge/pool where there's going to be food, beverage, entertainment. It's a nice atmosphere to meet and greet, talk to each other, meet new people. We're going to do a lot of different things where we're going to be able to have face-to-face time with each other. You'll have name badges by then so you can see where they're from, who they are, who you're speaking with. We're just going to really foster a very friendly environment. Then another networking opportunity will be the exhibit hall with Elvis. There may be an impersonator come in, Elvis Presley. He might help with the door prizes. He's going to be walking around the exhibit hall. And it's just another kind of a fun way for us to and have you enjoy the networking experience. And then, of course, last but not least, it's our marquee event. That's going to be the Red Rock Lanes Bowling Party. There is a bowling lane in the Red Rock Resort. We've used it in the past, and they have a private VIP section that we have rented out for our conference. And you can imagine it's a disco meets bowling. Big screens, great lighting, fun music, more food and adult beverages. A little competitive with the bowling. We'll have teams set up, and we've used this venue in the past, and it's just a fantastic way to end the event and just relax and enjoy ourselves. Okay, number 4. This is going to be the exhibit hall. We do not have a stuffy exhibit hall by any means. We like a lot of interaction between exhibitors and attendees. We do different events in there, whether it's door prize giveaway, Elvis walking around. We serve lunch, great adult beverages, entertainment. The exhibitors are an important part of the conference, and we feel that the attendees can certainly learn from the vendors, showcasing their latest technology, demonstrate the products they have, and share solutions for you. You can have really great, strong vendor relationships while you're there. And then, of course, as we always do, the food, beverage, entertainment. It's a way for you to connect with new resources and learn about their products. And then you might find new tools that you were unaware of, and these tools actually could provide a solution to some problems in your department. Okay, we're going to do a quick poll now for all the attendees out there. And we've been doing some telemarketing. You may have heard from us, and we're promoting the show. And we've had some people who, of course, are coming, some people who said they can't. And we're just always curious to what are the reasons that the obstacles that might prevent you from being able to attend, not just our show, but any show. We thought you'd like to know from each other as well. What are some of the other reasons people out there in different parts of the country? So if you could just select one, actually you could select more than one. Any of these that might help prevent you, professional budget, personal budget, time of work, or distance to travel. So while the...
Go ahead and select and submit your answer. We're going to wait just a minute here, get the tallies in, see what's prohibiting folks from attending the conferences that are on their calendar.
Well, look at that. Looks like they're all the same, 50%. So everyone seemed to be in the same boat as far as what might prevent them from coming. Okay. Well, thanks for filling that out. So last but certainly not least, we're going to have the number 5 way, and that is you want to attend, how do you seek administration approval? I think these 3 poor folks are like, oh boy, I got to go talk to the boss and get this approved. Don't stress. We've got you covered. You don't need to worry about it, because what we've been able to provide you is a attendee toolkit, if you will. And what this is going to do is identify what you will need to get the approval process started. So we've got a sample letter to attend. That's on the website, which I'll show you in a moment. And it basically explains how you will learn, what you will grow, how you'll grow, how to solve problems, describes education, the expenses that might go along with some of the show, and then the networking opportunities, and then it kind of clarifies all the benefits of attending, what meals are being covered, what opportunities you'll have to help your department, and it identifies the key to this is identifying what you will bring back to the organization as payback for their investment in sending you. Take time to review the sessions that we're offering, and then you want to match them to your facility's knowledge requirements. Don't assume that your manager will automatically make the connections between what the conference sessions might be and the benefits to the facility, and just make sure you can clearly articulate what the hospital stands to gain by you attending the conference. And if you simply go to our website, ORtodayLive.com, and then click on the attendees and the attendee toolkit, that'll take you to this page here. And this was that sample letter to your manager we spoke about. It includes all the information. And then there's our pre-show planner you can also download that has all the educational sessions, the workshops, the available CE credits. So with that, that will conclude the seminar or the webinar today. I wanted to make sure you know that you need to complete the survey at the conclusion of today's webinar, and then we'll also send you this fantastic I Love the OR bumper sticker for your valuable time you took out today. So we appreciate your time, and I don't know if there's any questions out there. Kristen?
We didn't have any more come through.
Okay.
Feel free to email us, though, at webinars@mdpublishing.com if you think of anything post-webinar. We'll be happy to answer those or contact us directly via phone, 800-906-3373. Other than that, we would just like to thank John and Jim for their time and information you shared with us today. Like John mentioned, if you complete the post-webinar survey for us, we'll be happy to send you the bumper sticker John showed. If you do not receive the webinar for some reason, please email us at webinar@mdpublishing.com.
I want to mention, Kristen, pardon me for interrupting, but I want to mention that there's a special $245 savings currently in place. It's a $100 early bird discount plus a $145 VIP discount where there's a special code that we can send you. Do you know, Kristen, how they can get that code?
It's in the workbook that they received.
Great.
You can also access it online.
So it's an extra $245 off of the regular price of $595. So it's a great savings going on right now.
Very good. Other than that, if you visit ortoday.com/webinars, you can see our upcoming schedule of events for the OR Today webinar series. Our next one will be taking place on July 16th. Thanks again to everyone. We appreciate your support and hope we'll see you at OR Today Live.